I wanted to talk about something random because it came to mind when I was watching, reading posts. It was on my favourite subreddit, the Owl House subreddit, and that's because the Owl House is pretty much amazing. Best LGBTQ plus representation. And yeah, one of the posts was my ship is controversial star pack, and that was a good laugh, but at the same time it just made me wonder, because when we read comments on that, obviously, because they're banned in nature, but the other thing is, why do you care? It's a bit silly. And it relates to something of my past, actually, because I used to obsess over shipping in games but stories in general. Even in The Witcher at some point. And it's detrimental, to be honest. It's not good. And I don't agree with a lot of the shipping war stuff because it is silly. It's a waste of time, waste of everything really, resources and whatever. By the time you've been typing a thing saying X can't be shipped with X, you could be saying, or even helping someone, going to mental health subreddit and helping someone, support them, or even suicide watch subreddit, but that's a bit darker. I'm speaking from Reddit POV because that's where I saw it on my 30th account, I think, because first one got permabanned because of an autistic thing I did, and it's literally autism because I couldn't predict it. I didn't know it was happening, and Reddit has an agenda against me for it, so yeah. It fucking sucks, the amount of discrimination autism gets now. Forgot what I was, because I'm having to edit a video in the background. So shipping wars is dumb, it's not necessary. And my past experience with it is simply as follows. Around the time I was going to college, I began watching a few more shows to sort of be more hip, I guess, and be more invested in things. And I happened to come across an anime called Sonic X, which I remembered from childhood. And it was okay. I didn't think it was great, and the ending was fucking awful. Millions happy ending for the final episode, but the season with Tails and Cosmos stuff was just nonsense. I didn't get any of that, and I didn't like it. Not just because of the random character out of nowhere thing, and how, well, she didn't relate to him. I don't know how to write romantic couples exactly. I've done it for years, but I don't know. It fucking sucked. It's one of the worst romantic ships I've ever seen. And I was a bit too, I guess, militant about it when I was initially watching it, where I just became desensitized to it in a sense, and all the people are wrong for liking it. It got crazy, to be honest. I'm not proud of it. So, as time went on, I discovered fanfiction. And it was okay, and I managed to accidentally discover a new ship I liked. Because originally I shipped Amy and Tails and Sonic, and I was just I like to expand on characters that don't have much story anyway. Neither Tails nor Amy have enough in the show anyway, the series and franchises all actually. That's when I started writing fanfiction on my own, and when I read one myself, I fell in love with Tails and Cream, and that's pretty much a lot of my inspiration. Yeah, shit became my life to the point where it was wired into me. I had a likeness for them that they felt like family to me. Strange way. And that's dangerous in a sense because not optimal, obviously. So that's big consequences with that. Because they felt like family, I almost felt like I was obligated to defend them to my dying breath. And even somehow get official in like the Sonic community and stuff. And again, they've been so much of the inspiration for me, so it's hard to let go of it. Years went on and shipping wars happened and stuff. Like it's around 2013 to I think 2020, maybe. I can't remember actually when I stopped. I was like making artwork and fanfiction about them for whatever idea I could get, and it was okay. But eventually, I got fed up and realised it was all pointless. Really, there's more to life, and I didn't need that. Didn't need shipping wars. I didn't need it, and yeah. And the revelation came to me that life was a lot better without shipping. Like when I wasn't romanticising them or something. It's just things mattered more to me outside of that. And more important things came to mind as well. So in a sense it's like obsession, and I think mine stems from OCD, and I think a lot of others probably do. And there are people who are sort of they're young of age, young, I don't know what you call them. They're young and they're probably vulnerable as well because of disabilities, and I think that all contributes to this sort of toxic environment where things have to be a specific way. Like, as you know, children and likewise even autistic adults to an extent, because I have experience with this myself. If you don't get things that go your way, you end up feeling betrayed and even sort of beaten up because things can't go your way. That's why autistic children typically need much more support than autistic adults usually. Although autistic adults need more of the emotional support, autistic children need the financial support. Well, that's a different topic entirely. It's still important though, because it helps understand with this. And with shipping, the common trend is that I notice people think there's like different ways to like ship them, I guess. There are people who ship multiple and don't engage in wars, but some do. And the issue is, of course, the wars part. And the best thing to realise is that everyone has their own sort of opinion and likeness of certain characters. And it's okay to have that, really. That's my best advice. And if it's bad enough that you get dedicated to it like I did, step away from it. It seems hard because they give you so much relief and dopamine and stuff. They did me. You just have to step away from it. It's exactly like a toxic relationship. You don't realise it's toxic until you actually step away from it and you realise it's a relief. That's what I felt in one of my actual relationships, actually. My second to last one. And I think the other thing to understand, if I can remember it, because there's another thing. Yeah, it's because of people's experiences as well and what they're taught. Because in the example of the Owl House, Luffy and Amateur were obviously destined to be together. But then you look at the relationship between Lewis and Hunter. I don't know how you pronounce it actually. But you see that they're kind of close. They're not too close, but there's something there. And it makes you wonder, what if they were meant to be together actually? And that's probably because of worrying. Like, what you think is an ideal relationship is what you're applying to that. Like, it's somehow embedded into you. Because there's like likenesses about both. Of Hunter being shy and those being kind of outwards. It's kind of like an opposite attract thing. And that's kind of wired into you. That's one of the sad things about real life relationships, actually. It's usually the overconfident people who get into relationships anyway. And obviously the people who aren't just don't get anywhere. Fucking sucks, and that needs to change. But it's obvious that people apply that sort of thing to fiction. That's what it is at the end of the day, it's fiction. I think it's harder when like a story establishes the relationship anyway, because that means people are going to follow that, because that's official, but that's all the problem with it as well. Because I actually only learned about it recently, relationships are very important to us. They can help us live long, happier lives, and to me that's kind of a deal breaker. Because I thought I could be arrowy, so I could not bother, but it seems I have to an extent. It makes me depressed that I can't, but I'm trying. But it's apparently important, and I think healthy shipping is a thing that should be practiced in a sense, where you tolerate others and you keep yours close still. You don't need to give up. You just need to have it in moderation. Like check on it every now and then. Sort of like you would with a real relationship. Because I don't think you'll ever get to the point of like marrying a ship somehow. Sounds fucking crazy, but I don't think you will. And to me, like, as I said, I adopted Tails and Cream as my own sort of children. Like, it gave me joy to see them together. It gave me anguish when I saw them apart in like online spaces. Or like one with someone else, or something like that. And again, that's the dangerous bit. But you have to recognise it's not real, and it has no weight on you. So that's pretty much shipping. That's all you need to understand about it. It can actually happen for real people as well. That's a crazy thing. I didn't know this existed until a podcast a few months ago. I can't remember what it was. I think it was either a movie or Game of Thrones, but I remember something about people not being happy that two people weren't actually a couple, and people took to Twitter and stuff to harass them, saying they should become a couple. It's like, what? That ties into the thing again about wiring and conditioning and stuff. It's ingrained, and I think once you recognise it's not a permanent thing, it's just something that you've got in your head, you can try to ignore it. Try not to let it get to you. So I think that's it for shipping discussions and fictional spaces anyway. I think it's important to get the information out there because a lot of people look at the community from the outside, and having never been a part of it, they don't realise what their words can do exactly, or how bad they can appear. And it's bad because it gives you a bad name anyway. Any insult to someone is an insult to you because you're low enough to do that. Ironically, I just insulted myself there because I insulted someone, and vice versa. But mine's more weighty because it has a fucking piece of life advice on it. So yeah, just stop harassing communities that, you know, should enlighten them instead, if you take issue with it. It ties into that saying, like, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And that's true in most contexts. Things like shipping, you can't really do that. Instead, you need to find a new way around it. So good luck out there, I suppose. I'm happy to take any questions. Try to answer them best I can. I do have quite a bit to talk about on this topic. So yeah.